Hey, what is up guys, welcome to XT, and let's talk about defragmenting your hard disk. What does it mean? What happens if you defragment your hard disk? Well, you see, defragmenting is like reorganizing your file system on your drive, or it's like changing engine oil in your car. Let's focus on why defragmentation was made. The cause of making defragmentation is the mechanical drives, since it has moving parts inside it. Let's talk how hard disk works. Think it like a long sheet of paper. When you first install the OS, or let's just say when you put some games on it, firstly, it will organize the files neatly. Everything will be sorted in a straight line, working from top to bottom. And you also know that the files are stored as zeros and ones. So, as the time goes, you will obviously delete and add some new files to it on your hard disk. Like you say, you don't like that Pac-Man, so you deleted it. So now, you see, it made a gap between the file system. There is a free space between the whole file system. If you want things more technically, it actually not deleted. It just removed the file system table of that particular game. Well, that's a different story. You can go ahead and click the I button to check the video what happens after you delete a file. So, you deleted the Pac-Man and it made a gap between the file system. And a free space was created between these file systems. So what happens to that free space? Well, in that free space, new files can be added. Like you say, this time you added a huge file on the drive. So what happens? It will start writing on that free space that we got after deleting the Pac-Man, unless it gets filled. And then write the rest at the bottom. This is arrangement of the files in hard disk. And this is called file fragmentation. Since the files are fragmented on a hard disk, it gets seriously slower to access the files that is scattered around your whole hard disk. The more scattered file system means the more slower your hard disk. Cause the hard disk has a platter that spins and a physical read and write head. Microsoft didn't really explain what defragmentation is, other than some vague statement that it makes your drive faster. Well, defragmentation reverses everything by doing two things. Number one, it reassembles all the scattered, broken files into one place, which results faster way to access the files. Means your hard disk doesn't have to move its read and write head much to access the files. And number two, it rearranges all the free space into one chunk of block, so that your PC will stop fragmenting the files into the bunch of rat hole size free spaces, which gets created when you delete and add files. Hold up. Now you might say,
should we try defragmenting our SSDs?
Hell no. That's a big no. You can't really defragment a SSD, since SSD has no moving parts inside it, and you know SSDs are way faster. So PC can roughly access the files at the same speed, regardless of in which chip of SSD is holding a particular file. Well, the fact is, defragmenting your SSD can shorten your SSD's life. It does more harm than doing good. Lifespan of a SSD depends upon the write cycles. The cells on this can be written so many times unless it wears out and become completely useless. And defragmenting causes the use of these write cycles a lot of times by doing that digital 15 puzzle. So what can you do is you can optimize your SSD. If you're running Windows 10 or newer version of Windows OS, obviously everybody's using Windows 10 right now, I suppose. You don't have to worry, cause the OS itself will never let you defragment any connected SSDs. But it will optimize your SSD, which is a good thing. What it does is, instead of defragmenting, it will send a trim command. Like on hard disk, the files have to be overwritten when you write new files, which I explained on this video. Just click the I button to check it out. But on SSDs, before you write a new file, the cells on the SSDs have to be erased, or else you can seriously lose performance over time. Trim erases the cell of the old data, which results the SSD to write new files to those cells much faster. You should trim your SSD and defragment your hard disk. Now, on 2018, obviously, you don't have to worry about it unless you're running modern OS like Windows 10. Cause nowadays, this OS automatically defragments your HDD. And about the SSD, Windows usually handles the trim automatically, so you don't have to do much other than running a trim checker to ensure everything is hunky-dory. And usually it does it per week or per month according to your settings you saved. So this is it about the defragmentation or trim. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you think this video helped you, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, share this video with your friends, and if you think this video sucked, you know what to do. I wouldn't mind. Until then, see you guys in the next one.